So originally this was supposed to be a reaction video. I am not looking forward to recording this, but they deleted the video. It called me out. I think it called out Bad Empanada. It was by a commenter that I kind of got into it in the comment section of my series on obesity. Basically called me a white supremacist. I was like, what the hey, I'm gonna give it a try. But they deleted the video. So instead, we're gonna do something a little bit differently. I pull this up here. This was me about a year ago, more than a year ago at this point. I've since lost 66 pounds. Let me see if I can. I'm not really where I want to be yet still, but let's do a little comparison, right? Let's go right, okay. Don't judge the fit, I'm in my work clothes. I've lost a lot of weight, a good amount. Still got a little bit more to go. But I've changed my mind on a few things about obesity, and I mean, I don't think I was ever necessarily wrong in the videos I put out, except the first one I kind of glossed over some things. Happens. But I did come to understand obesity on a deeper level after losing, after not being obese anymore. Now I'm just overweight. Hooray! So, I mean, first things first, talking about obesity it's tough. And I put down here in my notes, it's hard to tell when you have an opinion if it's an internalized self-hatred or if it's something you genuinely believe. And I feel like the same is true for other people, where it's like if you have a belief on obesity, if you have a take and other people come at you, you don't know if it's them projecting their own experiences, their own struggles with obesity onto you as well. It's like obesity is such just weight in general, or your body really. It's such an emotionally laden topic that it's really difficult to know what's a genuine opinion and what's just kind of like self. Because for me, I mean, I didn't like being obese. When I made those videos, I was not enjoying being obese at all. It was negatively impacting my life in a lot of ways, and I hated it. And I kind of hated myself. And I mean, it sucks to say, it's hard to admit, but it's true. And I feel like I had a lot of negative thoughts on obesity and people that said that being obese was healthy. And I don't disagree. Like, I don't think, oh, obesity is healthy. Like, no, I explored in great detail why it's unhealthy. But I was harboring a lot of negative feelings that might have seeped into the way I said things, into the way I thought about things. And I tried to be measured in the videos, but, it was there. It was there. That self-hatred was there. And it's just, and now, I feel like I'm a little bit farther away from it now. I can see things a little bit more clearly. And that comes into effect with the first thing I wanted to talk about. It's really difficult to lose weight. And I knew that when I was making the videos. I knew that a year ago. Because I was stuck yo-yo dieting, not going anywhere, not moving forward. But it's really hard. You think it's hard? It's twice as hard. You know what I mean? And you don't realize it until after you do it. I also think in my series, I undersold the effects of physical activity, sedentary jobs and a car-centric design to our environment. In the videos, I focus a lot on our obesogenic food environment, which is to say that we live in a food environment that causes obesity, essentially. And that's 100% true. I still agree with it. But stuff like the lack of physical activity and the modern, lifestyle, which includes sedentary jobs, our car-centric city design, it's these all little things that contribute to the obesity epidemic. And these don't necessarily have to do with capitalist exploitation of the human body, like food production does, but it's there and it is relevant, and it's not as easy to tie into that capitalist exploitation element, but it is there. And I think I was hyper focused on how capitalism ruined our diets, that I kind of overlooked that part. All in all, I still think it's a good series. I agree with almost everything I said. But I do think, in terms of perspective, people that say that being obese is healthy, this health at every size movement, it isn't all that bad. And I was watching an obese to beast video a while ago. And I remember him saying that the diet industry, this diet culture, it's had way more negative effects than health at every size. And I 100% agree. Tying this back to what I was saying earlier, where you don't know what's like internalized self-hatred and what's genuine belief, I think I was like very focused on this health at every size movement because as an obese person who was suffering with very strong negative effects, yeah, that shit sucked. And to see people be like, oh, it's fine, you can be obese and healthy, like it felt insulting, you know? But, now with the hindsight, the benefit of hindsight, it's like, yeah, no, health at every size is like a speck in our culture, like in the world of health, way more impactful, way more impactful is diet culture, creating negative body image issues. It's responsible for eating disorders, all kinds of, and of course, the hyper capitalist obesogenic food environment that we live in that feeds us shit foods. It's HAES is nothing. Like, it's unfortunate that some people believe that you can be obese without any consequence. It's totally fine. But at the end of the day, in terms of a hierarchy of evil, it's big food, then big fitness, and then HAES stuff at the bottom. Incomparable. I wish I was able to respond to like a genuine critique video. There has been some reactions from Obese to Beast and some others. I don't know why I can't just like bring myself to watch them or react to them. It makes me cringe so fucking hard. But I have come around on some things. And I feel like my sentiment and my language surrounding obesity has softened a bit too, like I understand. And there is some other stuff, like in the video, I didn't focus too much on like hormonal issues that contribute to obesity. Those are a big thing too. I mean, it's just like a very multifaceted issue that can't be, summed up with, oh, it's capitalism. It definitely is capitalism, but it's not all capitalism. It's a multifaceted issue. And it's incredibly complicated. And, we all just need to chill out a little bit. Because it's a big struggle for a lot of people. There's a lot of emotions there. So on some tangential shit, like representation of like fat people in media. As someone who is no longer obese, having more obese people on screen is probably a good thing, 100%. Having, complicated, complex obese characters, obese, relationships in media, portraying obese people as, sexy, as attractive. I don't see any problem with that. And some people might say it's like, oh, you're glorifying obesity, whatever, blah, blah, blah. On some aspects, I do think portraying obesity in certain ways can be problematic. That one magazine cover that I showed, that it was like an obese person and it was like, this is the image of health. I think that was a little problematic, 100%. Because that really plays into the HAES obesity is healthy shit. But just obese people existing, obese people being represented, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think a lot of people dislike that, either because they're obese and they hate themselves, like I used to, or because they're just fat phobic. And that's another thing. Fat phobia, it's real. It's a genuine thing, And a lot of skinny people are fat phobic. A lot of obese people are fat phobic. A lot of formerly obese people are fat phobic. It's a thing. It's something we need to take seriously, But all that said, I do think still the primary villain here is big food, big capitalism, and the shit it's doing to our food environment and the human body. That remains the same, but I think we can be a little bit more understanding about everything surrounding that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go walk my dog because she hasn't stopped licking my leg to get me to start moving. You guys have a good one.